Have you ever been lobbed in pickleball? The lob can be one of the most frustrating shots in pickleball, making it fun to dish out, but not so fun to receive if executed properly.
So in this video, we're gonna teach you the goal of the lob, the mechanics on how to hit it, and end with a drill that's gonna help you practice your lob and frustrate your opponents.
And be sure to stay tuned till the end of this video because we're giving away $1,000 of Selkirk store credit split evenly between 5 lucky winners. You're not gonna wanna miss it, and stay to the end of the video to find out how to enter.
So first I want to talk about the goal of the offensive lob. Now in doubles, it might be really difficult to try to pass through your opponents, but a secret here is you don't have to pass through them if you can pass over them. And that's the goal of the lob. It's to push your opponents off the kitchen line and push them into the baseline. Because remember, the kitchen line's the best place to play. It's the most advantageous spot to play. And so when you push your opponents off, you're creating a disadvantage for them.
One of the most important things when it comes to mastering the lob is choosing the right time to lob and knowing when to hit the shot. So first, you want to make sure that you and your partner are at the kitchen line. It's a much more difficult shot to try to hit a lob from the baseline or the transition zone, although you might hit one out of every 10, but the highest percentage time that you're going to lob is when both you and your partner are at the line. Next, you want to make sure that the other team is at the kitchen line. So all 4 players should be at the line. That's a great time to hit a lob. If you're gonna try to lob somebody while they're at their baseline, well, now they can run up and hit an overhead more easily, and you're inviting them into the court. So we wanna make sure all 4 players are at the line. And lastly, we wanna see if we can be in a nice extended dink rally and catch our opponents off guard. So if we're taking a big backswing and really swinging up with a lot of force, they're gonna see the lob coming. So you really wanna try to disguise the lob. That's the third tip I have for you when it comes to choosing the right time to lob. So now I wanna briefly go over the 2 different types of lobs. So if I'm dinking with my partner here, the first type of lob I'm taking off the bounce and I'm trying to hit over my opponent. The next type of lob is we're gonna get dinking, and I'm gonna start trying to take these balls out of the air if I can. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit the ball out of the air, and that's gonna be the volley lob. And so if you're a beginner in pickleball, I would say taking the ball off the bounce and hitting one of those off the bounce lobs is gonna be a little easier to execute than that volley lob. So maybe try to stick to that, and once you feel comfortable taking those dinks out of the air, then you can move on to trying to incorporate the volley lob.
Now we're gonna give you some tips to consider when you go to hit an offensive lob. The first tip I wanna talk about is having little to no backswing. If you have a really big backswing, that's going to telegraph what you're going to do. And part of this shot is being really discreet. So you really wanna have a compact and small backswing.
So our next tip that we're gonna go over when it comes to executing the lob is you really wanna make sure you bend those knees and get low. Then you're gonna lift with your legs and not just swing with your arm. If you're swinging with your arm too much, it's gonna create a lot more inconsistency. So it's better to use those big muscles and really lift from the ground up because you're wanting to lift the ball and not push the ball forward.
This next tip is super important, and it's making sure that you're hitting the lob when you're balanced. If you hit a lob and you're off balance, that's going to cause a ton of errors and a lot of pop-ups. So it's really important that before you choose to hit a lob with a ball that you're balanced and you're ready and you're in position and hitting that ball in the correct contact point zone.
So our next tip will really take your lob to the next level, and that is learning to take more dinks out of the air. The reason for that is if you're letting every dink bounce, you're gonna be stepping back quite a bit, and it can be very hard to hit a lob when you're stepping back and off balance. Next is if you're taking more balls out of the air, it will set you up for that volley lob, which is more advanced, but it can be much more hard to read.
The final tip here is to really consider the direction and the strength of the wind. So with that, if you are hitting a lob into the wind and the wind's coming your direction, you're gonna have to put a lot more on that ball. The opposite is true. If the wind is going towards where your opponent is, you put a lot less on that ball. So you really gotta consider the direction and the strength of the wind. So now that we've talked about the best tips to execute the lob, now we're gonna go into a drill for you to practice it and become a master.
So now we're gonna go over one of the best drills to help you practice the offensive lob, followed by a game to help you put it into action. So for the sake of this drill, there's gonna be one of the partners that's responsible for lobbing. The other partner is going to retreat, get the ball, hit it, a drop into the kitchen, work their way back up, and then the sequence continues. So for the sake of this drill, I'm the only one that can lob. My partner knows a lob's coming, but she can't cheat. She has to wait till I hit it. I wanna make sure I'm hitting everything out front. I'm swinging with my legs, and once I'm balanced and find a good one, it's gonna look like this. She's gonna back up, and then she's gonna try to work back to the kitchen, and the sequence is going to repeat itself. And once both partners have had a chance to be the one executing the lob, now you get to move into the fun part, which is a game. So for the sake of this game, now we're playing half of the court, and we both can lob whenever we want to. Then you're gonna play the point out after at least one lob has been hit. But here's the catch: however many lobs I execute in a rally, that's the number of points that the point is worth. So again, if I were to hit 2 lobs, I'd get 2 points. If she hits 3 lobs, she gets 3 points. So we start off by dinking, and both of us are just looking for a good ball. I'm gonna work back up to the line, and now we're back. Oh, she's going for lots of points. Okay, so she just got 2 points because she executed 2 lobs. So we would keep playing until we get to 7. This is a great way to practice the offensive lob.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the PlayPickleball.com YouTube channel. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below.
And as we mentioned before, we're giving away $1,000 worth of Selkirk store credit, split evenly between 5 lucky winners. To enter the contest, click this link, or you can find this link in the description below.
And don't click away because we have another video coming your way.